Picture this. You're 20 years old. 120 men are living in your house. They're eating your food, drinking your wine, sleeping in your beds. Every single day, they mock your dead father's name. And you can't do anything about it, because you've never even met him. This is Telemachus, son of the most famous warrior who ever lived, and he has no idea if his father is a hero, a legend, or just bones at the bottom of the sea. 20 years ago, Odysseus left for Troy. His son was a baby then. The war took 10 years. The journey home was supposed to take weeks. It's been another 10 years. In Ithaca, the king's palace has become a feeding ground. Every nobleman with ambitions has moved in, claiming they're courting Queen Penelope. What they're really doing is carving up the kingdom like vultures, and Telemachus watches it happen, every day, powerless. But here's what none of them know. Today, a stranger is going to walk through those doors, and what that stranger says will change everything. Because sometimes the gods don't just watch, sometimes they interfere. The great hall reeks of wine and roasted meat. It's barely noon. Telemachus sits on the edge of a bench, shoulders tight, jaw clenched. Around him, the suitors lounge like they own the place, because in every way that matters, they do. Antinous, the worst of them, sprawls across what used to be his father's chair. He's young, handsome, entitled, the kind of man who's never been told no in his life. "More wine!" he shouts, snapping his fingers at a servant, a woman who used to bounce Telemachus on her knee when he was small. Now she keeps her eyes down, fills the cup, says nothing. This is what his father's house has become. Eurymachus, Antinous' shadow, almost as bad, grins across the table. "Tell me, Telemachus, when's your mother finally going to pick one of us? She's been grieving for what, 20 years now? That's dedication." The men laugh. It's not a kind sound. Telemachus' hands curl into fists under the table. He could say something. He could stand up, throw the first punch, but there are 120 of them, and one of him. So he does what he's done every day for years. He says nothing. He sits there, burning from the inside, and he says nothing. And every single day, he hates himself a little more for it. This isn't just about rudeness. This is a violation of something sacred in ancient Greece, Xenia, guest friendship. When you host someone, you feed them, protect them, honor them. And when you're a guest, you respect the house, take only what's offered, and leave when your time is done. The suitors do none of this. They've been here for years. They devour the estate's wealth like locusts. They harass the servants. They treat the palace like conquered territory. And here's the thing that makes it worse. Technically, Penelope can't just throw them out. She's a woman. Without a husband or grown son to enforce order, she has no real authority. The suitors know this. That's why they're here. They're not courting her. They're holding the kingdom hostage. But what Telemachus doesn't realize yet is this. While he's been sitting in that hall, learning to swallow his rage, someone very far away has been watching, and she's decided it's time to do something about it. The stranger arrives at sunset. Telemachus sees him first, an old man, weathered, leaning on a walking staff. He stands at the entrance to the great hall, waiting to be acknowledged. The suitors don't even look up, but Telemachus does, because this is still his father's house, even if no one else remembers it. He crosses the hall, greets the stranger properly, offers him food, a place to sit, water to wash his feet. The old man's eyes are sharp, too sharp for someone who looks that frail. "You have kind manners, young man," the stranger says, "but I see trouble in your house." Telemachus glances back at the suitors. Antinous is arm wrestling now, slamming fists on the table, laughing too loud. He looks back at the stranger. "You see correctly." "And your father?" the stranger asks. "Where is he?" Telemachus' throat tightens. "Dead, probably. It's been 20 years. And if he's not?" The question hangs there. Telemachus has asked himself this 1,000 times. If his father is alive, why hasn't he come home? If he's dead, why doesn't Telemachus feel it? "Then he doesn't want to be found," Telemachus says finally. The stranger's expression shifts, something like pity, something like anger. "You don't know your father," the old man says quietly. Odysseus would tear the world apart to get home to you. If he's not here, it's because something is stopping him. Telemachus stares. No one's talked about his father like this. Like he's real. Like he might actually still exist. "Who are you?" he asks. The stranger smiles. "A friend. And I'll tell you something, son of Odysseus. Sitting here letting those men destroy your house, waiting for someone else to save you, that's not going to work. You want answers? Go find them. Your father had allies. Men who fought with him at Troy, Nestor in Pylos, Menelaus in Sparta. Go ask them if Odysseus is alive. And if they don't know, then at least you'll have tried. At least you'll have done something." The stranger stands, grips Telemachus' shoulder once. The touch is firm, almost familiar, and walks toward the door. Telemachus calls after him. "Wait, what's your name?" But when he looks, the old man is gone. Just gone. Like he was never there. And Telemachus is left standing in the hall, heart pounding, with a choice that suddenly feels urgent. Keep sitting here, drowning, or stand up and do something about it. That old man wasn't a man at all. It was Athena, goddess of wisdom, Odysseus' patron deity. She's been watching Ithaca for years, watching the suitors bleed it dry, watching Telemachus shrink smaller and smaller into himself. And she's decided, enough. The gods can't intervene directly. There are rules, politics, divine bureaucracy, but they can nudge, plant ideas, make a young man think a journey was his own decision. So that's what she did. The next morning, Telemachus does something he's never done before. He calls an assembly. Every nobleman in Ithaca gathers in the town square. The suitors show up too, smirking, curious. What's the boy gonna do? Complain? Telemachus stands in front of them all. His voice shakes at first, but he forces it steady. "You've been in my house for years," he says, "eating my food, courting my mother, and I've said nothing, but I'm saying something now. You're destroying my inheritance, you're dishonoring my father's name, and you need to leave." Silence. Then, laughter. Antinous stands, arms crossed. "Or what?" Telemachus doesn't have an answer, not one that matters. "Here's the thing, boy," Antinous says, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Your father's dead, your mother needs a husband, and you're not a man yet. So sit down and let the adults talk." The assembly dissolves into chaos, arguments, shouting. But Telemachus doesn't sit down. He turns and walks straight to the harbor. Because that stranger, whoever she was right. He's been waiting for someone to save him. But what if the only person who can do that is himself? The journey to Pylos takes 2 days by ship. Telemachus has never sailed this far before, never left Ithaca, never been anywhere his father hasn't already been first. But now he's standing on the deck watching the island shrink behind him, and he feels something he hasn't felt in years. Hope. Nestor is old, ancient. He fought at Troy with Odysseus, with Achilles, with all the legends. When Telemachus arrives at his palace, Nestor greets him like royalty, offers him food, a bath, a place to sleep. And when Telemachus finally asks, "Do you know what happened to my father?" Nestor's face softens. "Odysseus," the old king says slowly. "Brilliant, ruthless when he needed to be, a strategist like no one I've ever seen. We sailed from Troy together, but after a few days the fleet split. Some went one way, Odysseus went another. I never saw him again." Telemachus' chest tightens. "So he's—" "I don't know," Nestor admits, "but Menelaus might. He got home just a few years ago. He was lost too for a long time. Go to Sparta, ask him." So Telemachus goes to Sparta, and that's where everything changes. Menelaus lives in a palace that gleams with gold. Helen, yes, that Helen, the woman who launched 1,000 ships, greets Telemachus with wine and kind words. She's older now, but you can still see it, the beauty that shattered empires. Menelaus looks at Telemachus for a long moment. Then he says, "You have your father's eyes." Telemachus swallows hard. Do you know where he is? Menelaus hesitates. Then, I heard something from Proteus, the old man of the sea, a god who knows all things. He told me that Odysseus is alive, trapped on an island, held by a goddess who won't let him leave. The world tilts. Alive. His father is alive. Where? Telemachus asks, voice raw. Which island? I don't know. Proteus didn't say. But he's out there, Telemachus. He's trying to come home. He can't. That night, Telemachus can't sleep. He stands on the balcony of Menelaus' palace, staring out at the stars. Somewhere under that same sky, his father is alive, breathing, thinking about home, thinking about him. For 20 years, Telemachus has carried this weight, the weight of a name he couldn't live up to, the shadow of a man he'd never met, the shame of being powerless in his own house. He thought the weight would lift if he knew the truth. But it doesn't. Because knowing his father is alive is worse than thinking he was dead. If Odysseus were dead, Telemachus could mourn. He could move on. He could become his own man without the comparison. But if he's alive, trapped, suffering, trying desperately to get home, then every day Telemachus sat silent in that hall while the suitors mocked his name. His father was out there fighting to reach him. The weight doesn't lift, it doubles. Helen finds him there. She doesn't say anything at first, just stands beside him. He's a good man, your father, she says finally. Complicated, dangerous when he needs to be, but good. I don't even know what he looks like, Telemachus whispers. Helen's smile is sad. You will. Telemachus sails home with something he didn't have before. Not just information, not just hope, a purpose. Because here's the thing about growing up without a father. You spend your whole life trying to figure out who you're supposed to be. You look for templates, role models, someone to tell you what it means to be a man. And when you don't have that, you feel lost. But Telemachus realizes something on that voyage home. He realizes that waiting for his father to return and fix everything, that was never going to work. Because even if Odysseus comes home tomorrow, Telemachus will still be the man he is right now. The question isn't whether his father is coming back. The question is, who is Telemachus going to be when he does? When he arrives in Ithaca, the suitors are still there. Still eating, still laughing, still destroying everything his father built. But something's different. Telemachus walks into that great hall, and he doesn't sit on the edge of the bench anymore. He stands. My father is alive, he says, loud enough for everyone to hear. And when he comes home, every single one of you is going to answer for what you've done. Antinous laughs. Sure, boy, we're terrified. But Telemachus doesn't flinch, because he's not waiting anymore. He's preparing. What Telemachus doesn't know is this. At the exact moment he's standing in that hall, making his declaration hundreds of miles away, the gods are having another meeting. Athena has pleaded Odysseus' case. Zeus has agreed. Hermes is being sent to Calypso's island with a message. Let him go. After 7 years of imprisonment, Odysseus is about to be freed. He's going to build a raft. He's going to sail toward home. And Poseidon, the god who's kept him trapped at sea for 10 years, the god who cursed him for blinding the Cyclops, is going to see him. Father and son are both moving toward the same place. One has no idea what's waiting at home. The other has no idea his father is finally coming. And between them lies a storm that will nearly kill them both. Because the thing about homecoming is this. You can want it more than anything in the world. You can fight for it, suffer for it, sacrifice everything for it. But the sea doesn't care what you want, and the gods don't grant wishes. They make bets. Next time, the Council of the Gods. When one goddess wants him home, one god wants him dead, and Odysseus doesn't know either of them is watching.